The truth is, the majority of fights do end up on the ground, but at the same time, I don't think jiu-jitsu should be relied upon for self-defense, nor do I think people should have a false sense of security. Jiu-jitsu is awesome. I love it and can't imagine my life without it, but is this sport for you and should you train it? Jiu-jitsu is for everyone is a common statement that I hear all the time, yet one I disagree with. I don't think it's for everyone, but I do think it's for nearly anyone. On the mats, you'll see a variety of different people, young, old, people of all different shapes and sizes, people with physical disabilities, people with mental disabilities, people of varying levels of education and income. The list goes on. Nearly anyone can do jiu-jitsu, and many love it with a passion that they never felt before for a sport or hobby. But why is that? Well, I'm going to tell you why and why you should train jiu-jitsu. Whether you're already training or looking to start, let's dive right into why you should train this amazing sport. Exercise. Training jiu-jitsu, you burn roughly between 250 to 800 calories in an hour, and that's a lot. The best part is it doesn't feel like a workout as you're doing it. It feels like you're having fun because you are, and the calories burnt exercising are a byproduct of that fun rather than being the main focus, like is often the case when you're trying to burn calories on a treadmill. Most people, myself included, don't particularly enjoy exercising. I can say for certain I would not be burning nearly as many calories each week if I wasn't training Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and that would result in me either having to reduce my calories to maintain my figure or me gaining weight. And I love food. I'm a big foodie, so jiu-jitsu makes it possible for me to eat without having to worry too much about gaining excess weight that I wouldn't have gained otherwise. If I'm ever feeling unmotivated to train, I just tell myself I'll just do it for the calories. One downside to getting good at jiu-jitsu is that you become more efficient over time, so you definitely burn less calories as you progress, but the number of calories you burn is still quite substantial. So you likely become stronger and more athletic from training jiu-jitsu as well. If you're a gym rat and you're switching from barbells and dumbbells for jiu-jitsu, then this likely won't be the case. But if you haven't been as physically active to begin with, then you'll definitely notice a big boost in both strength and cardio. This is why you don't need to get in shape before starting jiu-jitsu. This is a common misconception that potential beginners have, and it often prevents them from starting jiu-jitsu to begin with, but it's not true. Jiu-jitsu will get you in shape for jiu-jitsu. With that said, even if you are in great shape before starting jiu-jitsu, even if you're a gym rat or you've been doing almost any other sport for however long, you'll likely be so inefficient in your jiu-jitsu movements that you'll feel like you're not even in shape at all. So whether you're in great shape or not, just start, because either way you're going to be gassed on your first session. Quickly, I'd just like to introduce you to the sponsor of today's video, Seed. Seed is a company with a mission to establish probiotics as a science and to bring much needed precision, efficacy, and education to the global category of probiotics. In collaboration with leading scientists and research partners from around the world, Seed creates scientifically validated and clinically studied probiotics for adults, children, and adolescents, and honestly, their products are amazing. Because anyone that knows me knows that I'm very particular. I like to know the whys and the hows behind everything, and I want to make sure that something works before I dedicate myself to it. And that's why I started using Seed's DSO1 Daily Symbiotic every morning before breakfast. It's formulated with 24 clinically and scientifically studied strains for whole body benefits. On top of that, DSO1 is a 2-in-1 product, which means you can take your daily probiotics and patented non-fermented prebiotics at once. I've been taking Seed and I find it so convenient that I don't need to mix anything together, and I know exactly how much I'm taking. You know, I have to say that my gut has been feeling great lately, and gut health is something that's really important to me. All in all, I just love it. I mean, it's a product rooted in science. I like being able to support my gut, skin, as well as my heart health with science, and with just 2 capsules a day. And I'm sure that you should support your health in the same way too. Click my link below and use my code Jordan to get 15% off your first month's supply of Seed's DSO1 Daily Symbiotic plus free shipping. Again, that's Jordan for 15% off your first month's supply of Seed's DSO1 Daily Symbiotic plus free shipping. Your mind. The amount of strategy and skill that goes into jiu-jitsu is just insane. I don't think that many sports can compare to the level of depth that jiu-jitsu goes into. I'm sure there are, but jiu-jitsu is definitely up there. Of course, I might be a little bit biased, and that's just my opinion, but even after 11 years of jiu-jitsu, I still learn new things all the time, make my own new realizations, and always have an open mind of different ways of doing things. I played soccer growing up, and I'm not ragging on soccer at all or saying jiu-jitsu is better. I never felt like there was a never-ending amount of techniques and skills to learn, but with jiu-jitsu, Jiu-Jitsu, you can fill pages and pages and hours of instruction and technical details. There are so many different ways to position yourself in relation to another human being, and there are constantly new moves being developed. The old moves are constantly being refined and upgraded, while new details to controlling both you and your opponent are discovered quite frequently. Like the sudden rise of the buggy choke that everyone loves that came out of nowhere. That was a pretty cool innovation, I think, even though I don't use it. There are many ways to skin a cat, and that's what I love about Jiu-Jitsu. Often it's not about which techniques are best, but more so about what's the most optimal solution for the specific situation or the body type or style of the grappler you're facing. To find the best options for attack while simultaneously having a balanced defending is a difficult task. But difficult does not mean not fun. It's a difficult task for your brain, which you execute with your body. And that's a lot of fun to try and figure out. The more we can challenge our brains on a day-to-day basis, the better. And Jiu-Jitsu provides that much better than spending your evening watching Netflix. I watch TV and Netflix too, but I'm just saying there's a time and place for entertainment and a time and place to challenge yourself both mentally and physically. Self-defense. Personally, I don't train Jiu-Jitsu for self-defense. I train Jiu-Jitsu for fun, fitness, and for the sport. However, if self-defense is the primary reason that you want to train, that is great too. Everyone is different. I'm definitely glad that I have the ability to protect myself if needed, and that's a byproduct of the fun I'm having. And although the commonly heard statistic of 90% of fights go to the ground is definitely just a made-up number, the truth is the majority of fights do end up on the ground. Whether someone initiates a takedown or two people fighting just fall to the ground. Having skills on the ground 100% puts you at an advantage. It's the kind of skill you'll definitely be glad you have if a fight does start, but at the same time, I don't think Jiu-Jitsu should be relied upon for self-defense, nor do I think people should have a false sense of security. Although Jiu-Jitsu is my specialty, I can wrestle and strike too. My Muay Thai gets better every week, and one day it'll catch up to my Jiu-Jitsu, but I'm just getting off track. But my point is that even with all that training and expertise in fighting, I will seek to avoid a fight nearly at all costs. True toughness is walking away from a fight, even if the aggressor is saying things that hurt your feelings or ego, because your ego can recover and you'll likely never think about that person again. But with the amount of things that can go wrong in a fight, like accidentally killing your opponent, getting charged, potential weapons like guns and knives, potential for multiple attackers, etc., the risk is not worth it to protect your ego. One thing goes wrong, even for the best of fighters, it can be life-altering. One of the major values that Jiu-Jitsu brings to the table for self-defense, especially when you first start off, is that you realize how tough that you're actually not, how people half your size can beat you up, and how hard it is to actually get someone to the ground, and how hard it is to control someone when you do get there. I say all this not to say Jiu-Jitsu is bad for self-defense. I don't believe that either. I think it is good, but lower belts walking around with a false sense of confidence that they can take on anyone and are just waiting for the opportunity is a very damaging and dangerous mindset. Don't willingly fight ever. Use your words, run even, but if you're forced into a fight, you'll be glad you have Jiu-Jitsu. If your main reason for wanting to start training is for self-defense, in my opinion, you should be 100% training wrestling and striking as well, and regularly sparring MMA or even Jiu-Jitsu with light strikes. Friendships. All my friends are from Jiu-Jitsu, and many of my friends from Jiu-Jitsu's friends are also from Jiu-Jitsu. I don't even know that many people outside of Jiu-Jitsu. Honestly, if it weren't for Jiu-Jitsu, I wouldn't have a social life. I don't know if that's weird or not, but it also makes sense considering I teach Jiu-Jitsu for a living. But even before I started teaching, I remember being so relieved and happy that everyone was so nice in Jiu-Jitsu and that I could make friends pretty easily, because after high school, I didn't really keep in touch with anyone. Jiu-Jitsu gave me a social life and a common interest with some really cool people. If you find yourself in a gym with a healthy culture and atmosphere, you'll likely feel accepted and meet all sorts of nice people too. Not all gyms are like this, unfortunately, and I'll come out with a video soon highlighting red flags that you see at gyms. But if you find yourself a reputable gym to train in, you should meet plenty of friends along the way. This is great, especially for people like me who are generally very introverted and keep to themselves. Jiu-Jitsu really got me out of my shell. I realized that most people out there are nice and just want to be happy. I truly thank Jiu-Jitsu for all the meaningful connections and friendships that I have that I wouldn't have had otherwise. Many people start Jiu-Jitsu with a friend because it's a little less intimidating, but even if you don't have a friend who's interested in training, just go for it and start Jiu-Jitsu regardless. I find when friends try class together, normally just one sticks around anyways. Ego. When you start Jiu-Jitsu, it destroys your ego. You realize that you know nothing and you can't do anything that you thought you could. When I started Jiu-Jitsu, I swear, I thought the instructor would give me a purple belt on my first day because I was athletic and watched UFC. I thought it would be easy. I was shocked when white belts substantially smaller than me were wiping the floor with me. It was too easy for them. I realized that all my confidence my ego was giving me was false confidence. Jiu-Jitsu destroyed my ego in the best of ways, and then work began to build it back up again. As I got better, I started gaining more and more confidence, not just in my jiu-jitsu, but my life too. It definitely felt cool seeing my progression going from getting my butt kicked to being able to do that to beginners starting after me. When I felt like I wasn't a beginner anymore, it felt great. I was one of those lower belts that I talked about earlier. I wanted someone to come along and start a fight so I could use my skills and show myself how much of a badass I am. Now that I'm older and wiser, I realized I was an idiot and could have got myself hurt or even worse. When your ego is destroyed, you want to build it up again, but not excessively. Some people think that jiu-jitsu weeds out egos. It absolutely does not weed them all out. I've met plenty of black belts who are egomaniacs, just straight up pricks. Their ego likely took a dive in the beginning, but came back soaring a little too high. For the majority of people, however, it definitely puts your ability into perspective in a very healthy way to begin with, and likely throughout your whole jiu-jitsu journey. It's very healthy to have your ego challenged, and in jiu-jitsu, there's always a bigger fish out there that can get you. Your challenged ego can cause you to grow, but it can also cause you to quit. So which one will you choose? Whether you're thinking about starting with jiu-jitsu or you're already training, I highly recommend subscribing to my newsletter. I provide invaluable tips that will excel your jiu-jitsu. I primarily teach how to roll, not just specific jiu-jitsu techniques, and the newsletter really allows me to provide bite-sized, game-changing concepts. I really enjoy writing them, and I know you'll enjoy reading them. I've had some great feedback from people saying it really changed their game in one email. Alright, thank you to my patrons for supporting the channel. I super appreciate you guys. I appreciate everyone who watches the channel. Thank you guys so much as always. Thank you for sticking around till the end of the video. If you're still here, please leave a comment or a fist bump, and I'll see you guys next time.